Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I am Non, and you are watching another Friday Ace of Spades website review. And today the topic is: do you know your homepage's primary objective? And more importantly, do your prospects know it? To demonstrate the principle, we'll be looking at www.forextradingchoice.com. Thanks, Robertas. And as usual, we'll be going through the Frodo conversion rate checklist. And if you don't know this already, there is probably no hope for you. It stands for first reaction, orientation, desirability, and offers. Not forgetting that Odo are the elements you need to pay the most attention to. And that attention equals contrast plus IPath, ACE. Alright, first reaction. How does a site make me feel? Let me be quite honest, it doesn't make me feel very good. This is because, very largely, the site feels incredibly cramped, and there is a fairly small font size combined with an enormous amount of information and number of elements, and ultimately that leads me to feel like I don't really know what the heck is going on. And when you don't know what the heck is going on, when you have that kind of subconscious reaction that things aren't as they should be, as I've mentioned before, that gets reflected in your perception of the business behind the website as well as the website itself, so that's not a good thing. So, first reactions are not very positive. Can we salvage it? Orientation. Am I in the right place? I guess that if I've been explicitly looking for Forex trading choice, then I know that I'm in more or less the right place. Not having any inkling as to how banking and economies and that kind of thing work, I won't even hazard a guess as to whether I'm in the right place. Generally speaking, I would say that a lot more information needs to be presented up front, however. At the moment, we've got the title, that's all very well, and underneath we've got a little rebates, discounts, cashback, three little words that doesn't really tell us a great deal. A tagline of some kind is really important, and although the navigation does give us some hints as to where we are, again, it doesn't give us a lot. There is no headline. The closest thing to a headline is how does it work, and there are a bunch of those, and there are no obvious calls to action, although there are things that stand out on the page. You've got these boxes of different colors, and obviously the orange boxes stand out, but there's nothing to really tell me where I am. So not only is my first reaction not terribly good, but my second reaction, where am I, is a bit confused. I don't really know for sure. Desirability, do I believe I'll gain more than I invest, will therefore not be very high. If I don't know where I am, and I feel confused, and there are no headlines and calls to action and natural eye paths to guide me, desirability is going to be very low. I have no idea what I can do on the site. And that's because it seems as if everything that I can do on the site, everything that the people on the site might want me to do, has been crammed onto the homepage as if I'm going to be able to make a considered and informed decision after having viewed the site for 7 or 8 seconds, which is of course not the case. So sure, I've got information on how does it work, not knowing what it is. I'm guessing that it's Forex trading, but I don't even know what that is. I'm not going to be in a very good position to read the how does it work copy, assuming that I know a bit more about the topic, assuming that the ideal prospect is not me and is not completely ignorant of these things. How does it work might be a good place to start, but it doesn't really draw me in. There needs to be something to set the context of this web page, something to talk about the benefits to me before it tells me how it works, something that will get me interested in what's on offer, and not only get me interested in what's on offer, but give me an understanding of what's on offer, so I don't have to guess what the offering here is. So we've got a bunch of different headings here, and none of them really tell me very much in terms of, if I'm scanning down, I don't feel like I'm getting any kind of flow of thought. In addition to that, I'm not getting any obvious benefits. The center does have how much money can you make, and it gives some examples and case studies. And case studies are good to have on your website, but because there are so many different things being presented on the homepage, so many different objectives that I can fulfill by clicking on various links along here, selecting to calculate my rebate. There are a bunch of other, down here you can see a bunch of other links, and in the center we've got these clickable logos, and I don't even know what's going to happen when I click on those. The general feeling is that I really have no idea what to do. I've got no idea why I should do it, and so I'm not actually going to do anything. So, offers, as I've already mentioned, do my goals match the available options? Not really. I don't, assuming that my goal is to learn more about this, what's on offer here, I actually don't really know how to do that. If I have other goals, again, I'm not very confident about how to achieve those because I haven't been given any calls to action. I've given lots of links and lots of options, but I haven't been given one specific thing that I should do, or one or two specific things that I should do to guide me through the website and to help me to understand what's going on, to help me to see why I should be interested, and to help me to actually get engaged and involved. So there's just this huge clutter of information, this huge jumble of things for me to read and for me to do, and no real direction or guidance as to what I should do. And ultimately, that is really, really bad, because what it means is not only do people not click and do what you want them to do on your website, but they get the impression that you don't actually know what's going on with your own company, because your website is so confusing that they assume that you must be confused, which isn't always the case at all. However, let me say something here, which is that I think that many people who have websites generally have very little idea of what their website is meant to do. So, for the takeaway today, I want you to think about your marketing strategy for your website overall. Your website is a business tool, and you should treat it as such. So first of all, you should have a marketing plan for your website. You should decide on what specific objectives you want it to fulfill, and for what specific reasons. These are obviously business reasons. How it's going to make you money, whether it's through prospects, signing up for something, turning into leads and customers, whether you're going to do all the customer conversion on your website, or whether you're going to take different approaches. And then you work backwards to your homepage, and you settle on a single main objective for your homepage, and you say, this is what we want people who arrive on our homepage to do, people who have probably not interface with our company much in the past, people who are probably interested in what we have to offer but don't currently know much about it. This is what we want them to do, and from the homepage, this is how it's going to move. They'll go to this page, then they'll go to this page, and they'll have these various options, and these are the various ways in which they can be turned into customers. And you try to plug as many links as you can, and you basically work backwards from your ultimate marketing objective into the various steps that you're going to need to achieve that objective, and you end up with your homepage, which is at the beginning, because it's where people will typically start their journey. Once you've decided on that objective, you get rid of everything else. Everything else which can potentially be useful on your site needs to go somewhere else, because it is not useful at the point that a prospect is first arriving and wanting to find out what they can do, and needing some direction and guidance, and wanting to know benefits, and all the kind of things that prospects want to do on homepages. Having said that, get rid of everything else is a very strong term. You don't have to get rid of everything else, but you have to justify anything that you keep. So I actually recommend that you have a secondary objective on your homepage for people who don't want to fulfill the primary one. And that's to plug the leak that happens when people don't want to fulfill the primary objective, and so they go away. You want to give them a second option. But you don't want to give them so many options that they don't know what to do, because as you probably know, if you've been into the supermarket recently and you've walked up to the, I don't know, hair products aisle, and you've seen this vast wall of hair products, all of them apparently indistinguishable except for the color and brand, it's a little bit difficult to choose one. Unless you pick one at random, there are so many options that you literally can't go through them all, and that leads to inaction. So you want to be sure that the options that you're giving are clear, are easily understood, are what your prospect wants to do, and that they will ultimately lead into some other kind of objective for your website. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any comments, questions, or hate mail, or if you'd like to get a $99 review for free, you may email non@informationhighwayman.com. I am very happy to receive your emails. And of course, you can sign up for free straight shooting marketing tips from the Ace of Spades at informationhighwayman.com/ace. And if you found this screencast interesting or enlightening, you will certainly find Attention Thievery 101 interesting and enlightening. Check it out at attentionthievery.info. Until next week, I am Non. Thank you for watching.